Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Essentials TF for our ETF2L 6v6 Spring 2024 Premiership Qualifiers in the upper bracket final between SKEDDA and NANDEM. My name is Lucky, and tonight we have John on production and DumTum as my co-cast. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you should be well aware of how these qualifiers have been going for the most part, right? Being in the thick of things yourself, so this is where we'll find out who gets the first slot in Prem and who will have to go through the unfortunate circumstance of playing against you.
Oh, very unfortunate for them. Yeah, it's been a really good sort of LAN period into Prem qualifiers. There's been some amazing scrims going on in the sort of like top Division 1 bottom of Prem. It's all been really close in that sort of area, so super excited to see how these teams perform. You never know, you might get some official jitters, but you know, these players have been around a while, so I doubt it very much. And also, I've got to say, NANDEM don't really care. Official or scrim, they will perform pretty much the same. On the side of, SKEDDA, unsure. I don't really know them as well as personally, but they've got some performers on their roster, that's for certain.
Yeah, I've only gotten to see them really the last few days as well, and I've gotten very different impressions. SKEDDA obviously has very renowned players, I suppose, in that regard, but so far this roster has played the official we've seen pretty reserved for the most part, right? They were largely better, of course, in the end still. That means obviously they win, sure, but it was a pretty slow game they played as well. Well, NANDEM's game was a bit more fast-paced. I don't know how your impressions of these rosters been in games you played against them.
Specifically, I would say that SKEDDA is, it's got loads of talent behind it. They play very organized. They're a very controlled, good team, and they've added Lucas Stank into the mix as well. And playing against him in particular has been difficult. He seems to just come back to the game and be an absolute nightmare. Of course, he is playing his main class demo man again, so he's kind of bread and butter. They picked up two amazing soldiers. They got Warped, they got Geordie. Very solid as a core. Warped especially has been a strong player for a very long time, and surprised honestly he's not sitting higher up in the Prem, in the sort of Prem bracket so far. And the one player on the roster though that I am looking forward to if they make it into Prem is Menix. That guy on LAN was an absolute machine. He was insane, and also like online as well, he hits those damn shots. You can see him just running around munching people. He's the guy to watch. I believe Mac is in. Well, I've just read in Twitch chat that Mac is in Turkey. I don't know who's replacing him tonight. Have you seen
Patchouli? Much like last time. I think Patchouli also subbing on this team, actually rostered, I believe, so this is their main stand-in if they need one. Which makes sense. I mean, that's by all means, we know for sure as a fact. A competent medic should not hinder them in much of any way here, I would imagine. Still always annoying that's not the main, but, you know, they've played for more weeks, so this will not change too much on that regard, I suppose.
Indeed. We do have some pick bands, so if we get those up on the stream, we can take a look and see what people are deciding to be picking. We get a little bit of a feel sort of before we head into the season about what maps are actually being favoured here. Of course, unfortunately, we haven't been able to get all of the maps on the thing because our thing only goes so far. We're incapable, apparently. But we do have Bagel and Snakewater as the first two picks. Bagel is surprising to me. NANDEM, I think this is a pocket strat. DumTum, this one, honestly.
Yeah, they looked last season pretty good on the map as well. I guess with the roster they have, not entirely surprising, I suppose, as well. Interestingly enough, we do know, in fact, SKEDDA also banned product after a confident performance on it last time. So they know for sure that these guys must be pretty good on King of the Hill and just chose the lesser of two evils, I suppose. We mentioned this the last few days already, right? You can only get rid of the one. You still gotta be good on Koth at some point or another, and this will show if SKEDDA still has Koth ability, even if they don't trust their product enough.
Yeah, indeed, and I don't think that Sultry has been played enough. Sultry is also in the pool, along with Product as well. And I don't think people have really played enough Sultry to know what they're sort of doing. So it usually ends up being in these first bans that sort of happen that Sultry gets put in the bin just because no one's really confident on it. But if there was one team in the Prem Qualifiers who's going to whip it out, I think it would have been NANDEM because they got Phoenix. He's like the mad scientist. He just goes away and looks at things. He's weird, man. He's weird. He scares me at night.
Yeah, it should be interesting with these processes, especially, like, I mean, we talked about one-time Scout, you'd mentioned Phoenix, the other side Scout's very much also capable, so this Koth matchup could be a bloodbath for anyone with an explosive weapon in their hands.
Very true. Just to run down the rosters for you, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who is playing in this game, we have NANDEM, who are rocking the roster of Phoenix, Aaron Trier, Hugie, Lucas, Luca Enderman, not Lucas Stank, Blank, and Unforgiven. Yeah, all of these players sort of like been top div 1/bottom prem. Aaron Trier especially has been playing super well. recently, so looking forward to seeing how he performs on Bagel as well, considering sometimes it's not the easiest soldier map in the world. You just sort of hold house and sit there like a monkey.
Yeah, very curious to see how they will do should they get the Premiership spot, which they're obviously on great pace for right now. My man to stand out here is obviously Luca. Seen the guy rise through the divisions the past few years. Always interesting to see that happen in front of my eyes, basically, whenever I get to catch some lower div players slowly but surely make their way up, and it wasn't that slowly at all for the guy, so yeah, it would be very interesting to see if there's a new Luca in town and Premiership demo winner, maybe.
This guy's been insane, man. Like, honestly, his rise up the divs has been incredible.
Turns out all he had to escape was the lower divs was to escape the clutches of the Balkan teams.
True. And also to escape Team Fortress 2 Center. That guy was sitting there for a long time. I swear, like, it was like maybe, I don't know, 7 months ago he was playing
Maybe
Team
that's
2
where
Center,
the greatest
now...
demo man get fortune between last one.
It's true. It's true. I mean, Hugie was there too, man. And he's been playing some demo too. So, you know, maybe all the best demo men are forged in the fires of Team Fortress 2
and
Center.
also Auto.
And also Auto, yeah, that's very true. Maybe Power Picks. You can put that down to Power Picks. Piggles is a mix server back in the day. Shout out to Power Picks people. You know who you are. But yeah, any sort of predictions you want to throw out there, Dum that you think are sort of how the map's going to go?
I don't know. I feel like this might very correctly be a NANDEM pick here. I feel like with what I've seen the last few days, this feels like the sort of map they should be doing well on. But I expect this to be really close, right? There's a lot of up-talent maybe on one side, but a lot of very well-established players on the other as well that know what they're doing here. I doubt they will make it easy by any means, and with the scouts they have here in Manic and a half, this will be a bloodbath. I still think NANDEM can eke this out, though.
Indeed, but if there's any team that's going to give them a challenge or a run for their money, it's going to be SKEDDA. And we are going to our first mid, ladies and gentlemen, as we are now on Bagel. This is the Premiership Qualifiers, the upper bracket final. Whoever wins this is going to Prem. Whoever loses this has to fight me, and they'll be ashamed if they lose. Anyway, heading into the mid fight is Lucas Stank. He gets there very early, gets nice and healthy. He's all good. And now we're just seeing who can sort of win the spam fest. It does look like the SKEDDA's coming out on top. Geordie's going to take that early position, go for a bit of an early bomb. Looks like Luca Enderman is the one that's being focused. Nice bomb from Warp. Good damage. Finds 2 on his bomb. Geordie's going to follow it up. He gets another onto Blank. And there's some great kills. They're going to get the first cap on this map.
Alright, that's not a bad start at all here. SKEDDA gets themselves the cap time they want, and surprisingly, both maps get out unscathed with this one. You don't see this every time on a CoF map like this, but much better, I guess, for NANDEM side to just speed things along here, get right back into the thick of things, and go back to fight for the timer here, not let them get too much on the clock just yet. Quick with the cap time here on Bagel, you always have to really watch out how much you give them, and they want to block very early here, very deliberately choosing to pop the super nice and early into this fight, and just delay this fight forever and just get so much time out of it.
Very nice trade there coming out from the blue team, just delaying that clock a little bit more. Finding 2 kills off the back of the trade also, so they're just going to take all of the space. Looks like we've got one player in the right-hand side house. He's going to get chased all the way out there, so they're all going to leave this, and it's going to be retained. And a very, very good trade there. We're seeing this more and more on Bagel. It's just the classic, you know, if red teams start capping it back, you just run across the point, take the trade, delay it a little bit more, just take the post-fight. And it may be a little bit scrappy, but it buys you a minute off the clock.
Yeah, that's already a pretty big lead here, and NANDEM still struggling to really put a dent into things as well. Entry dying later, falls back once more, many pipes flying Unforgiven's way, stays out of danger for now, but still, it's just eating around the clock here. SKEDDA almost halfway through their timer already. Uber still not up yet for Unforgiven as well. Nice little shots by Warp on the flank, clears that out. Blank gone already, big pipe by Lucas just flying across the point. That's the team cleaning up for it as well. Have to worry about errantry still, but always lonesome, 2 down on his team. That's not really a fight you want to take here on Soldier, and that's a tough one because they will have to move things along pretty quickly. Nuba's here now, might want to wait for spawns, but you gotta get some damage here, and this is the cap time to start things off with as well, maybe, but once again, looking to have your opponents use first.
Yeah, there's a very awkward trade coming in there. Looks like Red Team are going to be the first ones to use it off as they get the capture, so it's not ending too great for them. They are all the way forward, and looks like actually good damage from Phoenix. Finds Geordie, and that's going to turn the entire trade on his head. Good bomb in from Ward, finds a bunch of damage and takes out Unforgiven there, so the medic going down. They're all going to barrel their way forwards into Lucas Tank. They clear up the demo. It's just going to be Phoenix running in. He does get absolutely mowed down by Aff and Menix, meaning Pachuli's going to survive this, but Unforgiven going down. Big Uber advantage going to go for the side of the blue team.
Alright, so far so good. Finally getting themselves back into the game a little bit, but even that comes with a bit asterisks here. They might have a forward hold, but have to worry about the situation. Blank tries to do something about it right away here. Instead of much of a forward hold, just they bait a bit of one and then just send the bomb in right away. That will not be enough, however. Will just go down in the end, 1 down each, and big advantage to SKEDDA get much more confidently onto the point. Try to just get some cap time early and see how the opponents might drag. They're trying to block with all they have here. Devil Scout all flooding in. trying to delay the inevitable, but it just feels inevitable in the end with so much cap time already. Anytime they step off the point, this cap will turn blue.
Yeah, that was looking very, very worrying there for a moment for the blue team. All of their HP went below half, but Patchouli, very quick on the bows, manages to get everyone back up to full, so not in a bad situation. They get the point. They recapped. Just some good damage being dealt there by the red team, really showing their stuff and knowing what they're doing here. And the capture is sort of starting to come through, but now you're looking at the same position that we were in before that I mentioned, where it looks like they're just going to try and get a trade going. Geordie does go down here. Good damage being dealt by the red team, and they're pushing them all the way back, and they just get this recap going. 21 seconds of lost super advantage right there.
Alright, well, that makes things a bit more sketchy now with Uber being even as we speak. Once more, F and Gang leading the charge here, but he takes so much damage trying to just scout out 6 traps, doesn't see the fact that Luca is spamming them actively into that scout. One player down already, trying to make a big move towards the point here, and that will get immediately met with fall, and everyone's going down on the beam.
He fumbles the bag. Very unfortunate. And he's probably going to die off you, but he's not even spotted. Warped, who's right behind him. Unforgiven goes down. Massive, massive blunder happening there. And looks like now blue team are going to get this point. They're maybe going to get a forward hold going. Lucas Tank is still rolling out, so this left-hand side is going to be sort of open for the taking. So they're just going to move a couple soldiers over there for the time being until he can get his heals, get over there, set up those stickies, and get ready for this forward hold. Now, it's not well, it is one of the easier ones to bust here, so let's see what they can do. They just need to flood in all at the same time and try not to eat shit. Anyway, looks like they managed to do that. Fantastic.
Yeah, the only one eating anything is Jordi, a face full of bullets, just gets rushed down by I think 2 people on the other side of the forward hold, and once you lose the flank as well, it's going to be so much harder keeping any control of things there. We'll have to sit this one out, and by the time he spawned, it turned, in fact, back in red team's favor for the time being, but all of this, they had advantage the entire time. This delayed them for so long off the cap. 17 seconds left. This Uber has so little to do to put them up ahead once again here. And they're trying to see if they can get any kills early. But looks like NANDEM plays their cards pretty right. Left a couple people in to force. And everyone else just getting out nice and early. It's just Luca going down. That is a bit of a lengthy respawn, I suppose, given the circumstances. But it still leaves them with an Uber to get this back, maybe. And then they just need a minute. It's very much still doable.
Bomb coming in, looks like they're in behind, Unforgiven. He's going to get pressure from both sides. He does not want to get forced by the soldier that's in behind it. It is warped. He's going to be on that pack, dragging everyone back. He's going to be calling this for his team, and the blue team just come back in, start playing the point, take all the space. Unforgiven goes low. He has to use the Uber, and now it's a really bad situation if you're the red team here. You're going to have to barrel forwards with what you have and try and defend this point from here on out, but it's going to be a big Uber advantage for Patch, and he's probably going to get this.
Yeah, it's the one thing you want to avoid, right? This late into the game, either you don't use it all, or you use and kill them all and just have as close to the even fight as possible. But now everything turns against them here. Blue team has all the time in the world to get this Uber up and running, and even just baiting the point already makes it so much worse. He has to just block this on red as much as he can. They're trying to play the smart from the flank, and they're getting good damage with them, but oh.
Yuji is in as well. He's on the medic of Patchouli. Unfortunately, doesn't go down. Good bomb coming in. He cleans up the med. It doesn't matter that Unforgiven has died. They bought so much time on the clock here, down to 10 seconds. I don't think they can even roll out in time. Medix is the only one that's in. He's got to do some work here to make it work.
I don't think it's doable at this point. Maddox alone against the world, and he has some backup time. The overtime really saved the day. They got so much cap time early, that might be enough. He knew as well he didn't have to rush this to point alone. Can wait for the spawners here. Get the damage. Af cleans up as well. That guy also down, but the cap time just forces the red team's hand so much yet again. And this time around, they don't have nearly as much time to set up a flank. It's good damage by Luca as well, but they have to go point. It's just making them a little bit more predictable here. Good damage on top is needed. Iron Tree will go down. They trade it out for the heals, though. It's just hugely over the point, running everyone down.
Aaron Trey right at the end just plants a rocket inside of all of them, just destroys them. Insane stuff from him. Very, very nice job. It's going to make it 1-0 off the start of the bat here, and a very sort of back and forth round, and you can't really call it from there. It was that close.
Yeah, very much. It was looking for a little bit that SKEDDA's experience really was just putting them a step ahead right now, and couldn't really get handled the situation, but a couple of those moments later, and it might just be all done here. They really fumbled the back a little bit on SKEDDA. Still, it's only the first round. You're playing 4-3 rounds total, so there's still a long while to go before this really will matter too much. Still, puts them up ahead here. Certainly a good start for sure, especially with a round this close. Jordi going deep already. They don't want to close one yet. Again, can't get any damage from the medic though. With all the space they have, they really don't have enough damage to show for just now.
Yeah, very nice read there, I think, coming out from Unforgiven. He started moving back before the soldiers even bombed, and he knew that Jordi was in the same position as before. Very intelligent gameplay from him, heading back towards his pack. They just clean up the soldiers and move back forwards, and just beautiful, beautiful stuff coming out from them, and they're going to get the forward hold going straight away. Looking very, very good here, and yeah, like I mentioned before, they're all going to sort of post up on this left-hand side, try and bust through the door at the same time, get their players in. Af gets in nice and clean. Try and avoid as much spam as you can from this demo man. Just firing all his pipes. Patchouli gets in, and the forward hold is busted. So moving on from here, let's see what they can do. Warp taking this off at that point there. Blank does get cleaned up on the sidelines, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade coming into this middle fight. And red team, Phoenix, he's all geared up for the trade, and they're going to start moving in, and they've not had to use the Uber just yet, actually.
I
So
think
just
they
defend
missed
it.
opportunity
Never
to do it
mind.
as well now on Blue. At this point, they tried, like you said, get the scout of the pointer, but it just never came to fruition. They lost immediately. Everyone that went forward just blindsided by, I think, a scout and the sticky behind them as well. And suddenly the numbers are swindling, and this is where NANDEM might get that big lead this time around into round 2. Very different story already than the first one here, and maybe this is just the bit of momentum they needed from the beginning of the game.
Just good damage being dealt. Looks like the trade's coming through main. It's a very, very good trade, actually. Got lots of damage being dealt back to the Super. Luca Enderman, very, very weak at the end of this. So they're going to be able to get back on towards this point here, but the name of the game is to not eat as much spam as they did before. And Yuji, he's not ready to take... Oh, he wins the 1v1 versus Medics there, actually. I didn't think he'd win that one, but Yuji coming out on top. Jordy's going in. Loads of damage being dealt. Af is barreling forwards. Warped in with the bomb as well. Good damage being dealt from him. It looks like they're going to get a whole bunch of kills coming
Phoenix
to the
behind
point.
them,
But
no, gets the medic! The sword comes out, but it can't swing in time. And they were so preoccupied killing the other medics. They're not getting Unforgiven, mind you. They're just ignoring the flank, and they're not even done yet. As well, Erentry went deep diving just in case the scout needed the help. And little did they know we didn't need any help at all. We just do this on our own, get the med kill, and this round's looking dangerous in favor for Red Team now.
Yeah, it looks like they, it's first round is just warm-up round, so now they're bringing it out. But looks like they get Af on the right-hand side, so that's going to be nice for them, just getting that first kill in. And it looks like Luke Enderman's actually going to post up on the right-hand side now. He's knowing that this left-hand side is not holdable for him, so they're just going to post 2 soldiers, start getting their bombs in. Soldiers get through, Demo Man gets through. Oh my god, Lucas Stank is going in deep and gets annihilated for it.
Oh, even bigger arrow, but that soldier stays alive forever on the red team. I think that was Erentry. Brilliant arrow by Unforgiven after the pipe hit from Luca, and all the damage the Demo Man did just didn't matter.
Yeah, just got nullified completely there by that one arrow. Hugie goes in a bit too deep, he gets picked up on the other side of the point. Erentry going in for a bomb, see what he can find. Doesn't quite find anything here. He's going to have to start moving back on this point before he gets swarmed by these blue scouts, and the capture goes the other way. Uber saw kill for Patchouli onto Blank there as well, so that's going to make his Uber still 100%. So not a lot really to take from that, apart from +1 on the log.
Well, it is certainly not a medic dying to a soldier right in front of them, which is still worth quite a bit, I would say. But they have bigger things to worry about. It might say 100 on both sides, but there's a big difference on numbers on the top there as well. A big minute, in fact, still separating these teams. SKEDDA has some catching up to do. This forward hold, like you said, easy to get past a little bit here, but it's just about keeping people away from point blank. They can't keep them away from point, but it's enough to get the force going a lot earlier than they probably would like as well. Matt fails early on red as well, and anyone else that dies at this point is really just a calculated risk from the red team that they're more than happy to wait the respawns through for, because they got the Uber out, they can fight back, and they're still on the time lead even once they come back into this fight now.
Yeah, looks like the blue team is still opting for a forward hold. Patchouli's still playing back on that point there.
Oh, Wolf is just going in though, they don't care.
He gets the force.
Yeah, they're bunching up the lobby, getting buffs ready to go, just thinking, okay, let's set up this play, and they're not given the time to do any of that.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Wolf there, just reading the game really well and being in a position to get that cheeky play. And Af is going to go down. Looks like they're still continuing the skirmish. Patchouli gets piped at range by Luca Enderman, so he eventually cleans out. Jordy going in for a bomb. Nice clean rocket into the middle of Unforgiven and the rest of his team, and he's going to start moving all the way back. But Luca Stank, he's on the chase a little bit.
He's just a bit late, unfortunately. If Jordy had the right call in situation that they needed to get to that medic ASAP, but Unforgiven still a step ahead, gets really far back in time, and no one really could chase them in the end there. Really solid stuff. Warp still busy up front. It trades for the Demo Man. That's not a bad kill, I suppose. Still worse spawn for the blue team right now. Does make this not quite feel as good, though.
Indeed, looks like they're going to be heading towards the point, just trying to cap it out, and they're going to send a soldier in for the force onto Unforgiven. He dodges the first rocket, hits a nice surf. He's going to go back and get that health pack in main, so he's going to be just fine, but they're going to continue getting this capture through. They've managed to drive this clock down by quite a lot. Patchouli actually is super weak behind, because Blank has gone in, and he's found a lot of damage and a kill.
They're not done yet as well. They're trying to send even more soldiers in there. Erentry at least threatens the option to go through main there as well, and that's kind of what they did in the last match as well, right? There's never really a quiet moment with this team. When there is a chance to do something, they will try to do it. Sometimes for better or for worse, but usually it's been working out pretty well so far today.
be heading back towards the point. 9 seconds remaining. Red team just want to keep their scout beamed on the edge of this point. They're going to go for a trade. Very nice trade. Phoenix gets loads of damage down to Geordie. They're going to have to flash quite a lot on the Zuba. Af gets under flash for a moment, eats a bunch of damage. Unforgiven has to hit Surf. He's getting juggled quite a lot. Looks like they might go down here. Unforgiven manages to slip away out the back of this, and 2 kills get traded in the meantime. Blank is the only trade of it. It gets 2-0 as they just cannot stand on the cap.
Yeah, really good damage on point. A bomb, like completely across them, going behind. They can't not pay attention to. Otherwise, they would get deleted by that soldier. It's just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's the kind of position at the end of the CoF round you want to be in. Just desperate opponents running on point and giving every option they have to their disposal here to feel like they still have a choice about it, but really just slowly but surely whittling them all away here with the last few players they have. And as it stands, SKEDDA now suddenly in a really bad position.
Lucas is just threading those sticky bombs and dealing so much damage, but Warp's going in on the flank here. Really, really nice damage from him. Both flank players are weak, and one of them's going to have to disengage completely and get a health pack. And the blue team not willing to follow up on the damage. Geordie goes down as well, and they're not going to be able to get much here. Luke ended up going in for a bomb, gets lots of damage onto Patchouli and Lucas Stank, but not finding much else. Medics in the meantime just go down as well, so they're able to set the forward hold.
Very surprising. That was very, very good bombs, like you said, in at least theoretical terms for the blue soldiers, but everyone else was not in at all. They were not willing to follow up either, and short-lived cap, it will be like that if you can't play off damage much. SKEDDA back on the back foot here. Geordie going down early as well on this bit of a fold hold attempt. Really sort of damage with the Cerberus as well. And getting one more kill out of this well. Af waiting for the arrow, but Lucas on beam needs all the healing in the world to scale life from this one too, and that just cost them one player instead.
Yeah, there's not much you can do coming through there. He jumps through a bunch of sticky bombs and goes down. Huge going in for a play, and Arancher are also going in for a play, but they don't get the force into Patchouli, unfortunately. And now it's going to put them on the back foot here. Slightly longer respawn is coming in next 10 seconds, and they won't be there for a further 10 as they roll out, but just waiting here to see what they want to do. Phoenix is likely going to go take a trade here across the point, and they are gearing up for it. Across the right-hand side of the point, Patchouli has made the read and has backed off into main, though, so this Uber is not going to force them out whatsoever. And it looks like Unforgiven may be doomed at the end of this. Oh, never mind, they've ignored him completely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a scout in front of him, and that scout is unfortunately Phoenix, and that makes things very obviously very difficult, as it seems. And suddenly things become a little weird all of this sudden. Just without a demo man, even this good position lane is made a lot harder, and they're taking the opportunity while they can. And this is kind of what I was talking about, right? You've seen plays like a lobby earlier, right, when two people just fetch for no reason, it felt like. And then this back-to-back as well, where just instantly the force they wanted immediately. They just do things because they can, and when it goes well, it looks like this. When it doesn't, it's Lisa to the position that even started this whole fight.
Yeah, there was definitely an opportunity for them there to just take their Uber forwards and kill the medic and maybe kill a bunch more players that were in, rather than sending their entire team back for just Phoenix. Granted, Phoenix did just kill Lucas Stank on his own and cause a lot of chaos and buy them some more time on the clock, but there was a lot more to be gained out the back of that. And at this point in time, they could have, had a much bigger Uber advantage to play with. Unforgiven now at 98%. He's going to get his Uber way before Patchouli is, and they know about it, so they're heading in. Patchouli is all the way back out in main, but Phoenix is on the chase. He's getting body blocked a little bit, but they desperately want this medic frag, and are just going to go for everyone else in the end, it would seem. It looks like they're going to start cleaning up as many players as they can. Patchouli all the way back in spawn, and the rest of the team are probably going to wipe here.
Yeah, it's not looking good here. Scout will go down, the Manix caught as well, and once again, 20 seconds lead will get a lot bigger now, with at least a fold hold helping close the gap on the Ubers a little bit here. Before that matters, however, we'll see if they can maybe get something out of this fold hold already in the situation we're in. It's going to be difficult, though, to get out of spawn for Blue, so Red is probably just the ones keeping their benefits here early. Ooh, they actually using so early. Yeah, I was wondering if they were even willing to do that, but they're just doing it right away.
Yeah, this is the classic, we don't really know what we're going to do anymore, so we're just going to use through main play. I mean, I respect it. Yeah, I respect it. But, now they're out on an Uber advantage once again, and they're just looking at this leapfrog scenario where Unforgiven's going to get his Uber again, so they need to send some kind of sack. Warp has read that, and Geordie's in, they get the kill. Loads of damage being dealt, but Patchouli gets traded out blank with a beautiful bomb. Just lands right in the middle of them, and unfortunately, that was in fact a drop from Unforgiven there. He only just got his Uber.
Well, what does it matter what the medic does if the rest of the team still wins the fight, right? And clearly,
yeah,
they might just about do that.
It doesn't matter.
They still have advantage, but surely die later.
Indeed, they get their Unforgiven respawn as well, and he still has Uber advantage, so it doesn't even really matter at the end of the day what they did there. They just ended up in a scenario where it's just a chain reaction of just stuff going wrong and leading into more things going wrong. So now they have to refight for this point. No Ubers in play, so no trade coming out for the red team this time, so it's a little bit harder for the red team to defend this one. They do have to just tank their scout on the edge of the point here. and just hope that the cap doesn't go through, really. Good pressure coming out from Warp, though. He's all the way forwards. Looks like he's going to die in the skybox, unfortunately. Yes, he does.
Attacks for the second to late. He was trying to land on it, but it was wasn't there. Well, at least they get some counterfacts out of this one. Jordy certainly makes up for that damage as well. Catches Phoenix on point. Lost Devilman a bit. Big one by Energy. Does some brilliant damage. Gets Af somehow with this too, but he's really the only one who's done some damage there at the end. Everyone else gets pushed back quite early in this one. What does help is the spawn situation. Everyone on red already back up alive again due to not having point controllers now. We'll speed things along a little bit here, and with Uber already in the hand, I mean, they're just going to be right back to point. They have 40 seconds left, and they want those gone now.
Yeah, back to Bing chilling. Who can beam the most on the edge of the point here before they do a trade? It looks like the blue team are going to do the trade. They're going to get juggled a little bit coming into this, and the user's going to come out very soon from Unforgiven. He does in fact pop it out, and it looks like Phoenix is on the beam. It's an Amzu, but he's running in very, very deep to see what they can do in terms of getting a kill on the flank here. He runs all the way in. Unfortunately, doesn't find the kill, and now loads of damage. Lucas Stank is putting them in. His jug is a spreadsheet on his screen, and Hugie is super weak in the side of house, and Luca Enderman also requiring a bow. So this red team a little bit in shambles. They did find 2 kills during all of that chaos, but now having to defend this point continually without Ubers is kind of difficult here. Capture back coming through. Blue team trying their best. Red team defending nicely.
Alright, surprised red team managed to bungle their way out of this one successfully. That was looking like a really good start, because the actual move for red team wasn't looking that threatening in the end, but they still managed to bully their way to a couple of kills there in the end. Still, it wasn't enough of a big win to really get them away from point fall too much. In fact, they're still here. They got it back right away, and things are still dicey right now. These are really, really close. SKEDDA getting first might even matter.
Yeah, it actually could here. Patchouli diff, if they use him immediately on 100% and go kill Unforgiven, then fantastic news, but they aren't going to do that. Unforgiven knows about the small ad.
Do they need to?
Back. No, they don't need to. They can just chill here. They can just chill on the edge of the point here, wait for the Ubers to come in, just take a trade when they nearly cap the point, just delay it all out for them, and that's exactly probably what's going to happen here. Af's on the beat, they're ready to go. Phoenix is actually going to go in and take the trade, and they're taking the initiative here, despite needing this cap, which is... It might end up terribly here. They haven't got any players to get to this cap whatsoever. They're all standing on it.
Still a bit of overtime they have. He does the soldier bombs across, but Lucas has everything on point to get off, and these soldiers have nowhere to land, and the entry goes don't blank, just bails early. It's enough cap by the scouts in the end, but those soldiers will in fact go down, and they're just severely outnumbered now. It's a bit miserable fight, but Luca with the 2K.
With the stickies, he layered them up and just sinked them into them. Massive damage. He can't.
Oh no, he just angered the beast though.
Oh, unfortunately.
Immediately they're punching it, and that will be just enough. The spawn's already back for the blue team too, and it will be around for them. That's some signs of life, but even if it's a win, it's only barely one right now.
Yeah, very, very nice stuff coming out from the blue team, but I mean, they played just a little bit better. A couple of mistakes coming out from both teams here. Just sort of like in terms of Uber plays, but apart from that, all good. In the hood, very, very close game still, all to play for this blue team, showing that they're still in this. They are not here to lose. They want to be in Premiership real bad. So another mid-fight ensuing. Good damage being dealt by both demo men here. And once again, Lucas Stank just threading these sticky bombs, making it so difficult to play for the red team, and Unforgiven's having to play Dodge Spam Simulator the entire game.
Yeah, there is just so much flying across the point. No one's really going down. Not going deep, mind you, yet either. It's just a very calculated game right now of taking risks that no one's really willing to take just yet. There's a Snakewater mid-fight in a way in that regard, but someone's got to go deep sooner or later. And the captain is forcing the issue here a little bit on the blue team, and that will in fact be enough to get a kill out of it. Jordy on point will help go down here in the name for the red team to get some momentum going, and it will actually be a force out of this as well. They got a bit of momentum, and they immediately go deep with that.
What's disgusting is that Blank manages to get out as well, so Warp's just going to have to solo sack into the enemy team.
I thought a solo. We're all in with this one.
That was a 1 HP pop or something right there from Unforgiven, 5 HP pop even. Excuse my French, but Jesus, they managed to head in. Good bomb, oh my god, Blank, loads of damage into Af. They're going to continue chasing this, and Patchouli is managing to get all the way back out to spawn. Very, very nice stuff from them just to escape that fight in the end, because it was looking rough for a moment there. But red team cap first. We've got a little bit of calm coming in before the next fight, so I guess we'll see. They're going to do the same thing, Dumb. They're just throwing themselves at this through the left-hand side, which is seeming to work out fine.
I haven't seen a sticky trap before that Red Devilman has. Look at that. It's on the stairs. You expect them exactly to do this. Walk forward and then back off into it instead of actually walking down the stairs. You want them to backwards walk up the stairs as well. That's a bit early. You can see the appeal, I suppose, now. Hasn't got the impact intended on with that. They're just getting to point a little bit easier than they would like.
Yeah, very, very smart trap. If there's one player that they've probably been talking to, it's Yimpo. That guy is the master of traps. He's absolutely insane. But 2 minutes 52, they finally get the cap through, and you got a 50-second sort of time difference going on here, and Phoenix just going to start edging the cap once again, and try and force out a trade of some kind to happen. They're going to get towards half cap and then look to do a trade, which moving backwards and forwards. Unforgiven starts to get weak though. He needs to use the super and he does in fact use it out and gets juggled. Phoenix nearly goes down and now the trade is kind of terrible for the red team. They need to get this force sharpish or get the hell out of there, and they do sort of neither.
That's a bit of an awkward one. Blue team off the point again. It's just a quick trade back and forth you'd expect to see on the map, and with not much dying yet as well, it will just continue on until they find an easy target, and Jordi on the flank tries to fall back, doesn't have the time to trade on the soldiers for now, but the captain will just force their hands in with the damage. They have Lucas just hammering down some pipes over the point. Will finally be enough for the blue team to maybe take the point for a bit more than 10 seconds at a time.
Indeed, indeed. And looks like now blue team going to be chilling with their 100% Uber, and red team needs to come up with a solution here to try and get the super out of them without losing Unforgiven, and it's going to be a tall order as they're going to try and play the edge of this point here, but it's so hard to do without the beam being put on you. Just consistent spam coming from the houses and coming from the left, right, and center, and looks like Pachuli and Af getting ready to go for a trade, but they might just be faking it, if I'm honest, just dodging all this spam, buying themselves time here, and the Uber is going to come through for Unforgiven, so red team have had to burn a lot of time off this clock here in favor of just getting their Uber charge, and Af's just going to run in off this Uber, does get juggled a little bit on Pachuli, so only just links back up with him as they start moving back. Hughie's the only casualty of all of this, and Phoenix has managed to move forward on the point, but still retained by the blue team.
For the time being, at least, it gets them a bit of a lead here, but there we go. Andrew wins the 1v1 on the flank, immediately puts the numbers back in their favor. They're trying to push across with this as well, but Luca gets taken down really early. He makes this rough entry. Still in though, trying to sneak in from the flank, hope for the best there, but gets shut down really quickly. Scout just hunting that guy down, not giving him a chance here. They have a bit of cap, and still, even with numbers down, they're not trying to have there be a quiet moment at all.
Lovely, lovely punt coming in from Lucas Stang, just hits the soldier and tags the scout, and Phoenix goes down. And they're going to start moving forward here. They could get some kind of forward-ish hold. Never mind, they don't bother. They just chill. Probably the correct maneuver. Maybe a little bit too aggressive from my brain, but looks like red team starting to move back into this. Just toing and throwing, trying to get desperately to this point. They want to cap it out from under blue team's feet without having to trade, and Phoenix is just getting tanked on the edge of this point, but so is Af, so they're just mirroring each other, running in now for the trade, and good damage being dealt with this blue team, so much so that Unforgiven has to flash a whole bunch of players, and no one's going to be ready for this post-Uber fight, and the Uber is slightly worse for the red team as well, so that Uber fades at the same time. Basically, Arantro going down, and Hugie goes down as well. Jordi's the only casualty out of all of that. Wolf going in, good damage has been dealt, and yeah, once again, same scenario, blue team still have the point after the trade.
I mean, we've kind of been here before, right? Big lead for the blue team into the last bit of time. They need to be careful not to throw it all away last second once again. Soldiers down certainly helps a little bit, but maybe this was all for naught. They're just running both scouts across the point, and as one unit just shoot everything down in a matter of seconds.
So on the right-hand side house, Hughie's just trying to poke, see what he can do here, but it's looking extremely dire if you're the red team. You do have all this capture time, and they're all just going to have to barrel in, but 1 minute 55 is a lot to do, as they're all just going to get denied running into this point. Blank's going to be the first one to go down. Aaron Triss going in for a desperate bomb into the med, doesn't really find anything. Hughie's going to go down as well. Aaron Triss is dead on this point. Look at him in centered skybox, and it's going to be a wipe for the red team. Not a single player dying on the blue team, and 2-2 is the score, and I've got to say, SKEDDA now looking very good.
Well, maybe they were the ones that needed to warm up after all. It is not looking that close anymore this round, at least. Certainly a big improvement from the previous one they already won, so if it's just getting better and better now, then this might be a rude awakening for NANDEM on their own map. They gotta really put it all together now to still have a bit of a comeback chance. And they might have gotten a bit last time, but it was a really, really close and long one, so getting this wrapped up a lot faster, a lot more convincingly certainly would help, but I'm not sure with the mid-fights how slow they've been so far, if anyone's really willing to make a big play early.
Yeah, I mean, they were just doing these effectively double soldier stacks on the blue team pretty much immediately. Warp just going and doing the exact same thing, yeah. They're sending their team, but Warp's going deep in behind. He's in lobby onto Luca Enderman. He's behind the scouts. Good damage being dealt from all of their players, but not really finding too much onto Pachuli as they all bomb forwards and can't quite clean up either medic here. So Warp's the only one going down, but finds all the picks that he sort of needs here to get this mid capture going through.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. They were like hesitating, even trying into lobby even more than they did in the end after everyone already left, but decided against the scouts were kind of weak on that part, so just take what they have here, let Unforgiven escape for the time being, get the first few seconds here. At least 30 seconds it will be. The question is how much more they can squeeze out of this Uber fight as well, and they're willing to take it.
Indeed, and they head in with this Uber charge, and they're going to just... Oh, nice airpipe there from Luca Enderman, just sort of denying Af on that Uber trade a little bit, making sure he can't run too far forwards onto his soldiers. But once again, lots of damage being dealt by the red team, but they can't really find any of these kills by the looks of it. Blank is, in fact, going down here. Loads of damage being dealt. Every single player on the blue team needs a bow immediately, and Menix is just winning a 1v1 of the point versus Hugie as well, despite being 20 HP.
Not bad, not bad. Will certainly help once again here for the blue team being back on point. Uber still remaining even. All these Uber fights and the medic still always getting out is a quality in and of itself as well, but at the moment that will not matter. They're Uber on the point already, trying to just force something out, and Blank gets the worst end of it, I suppose. Tries to hunt on the flank a little bit back, turn to the combo, will get immediately taken down, traded out at least 1-for-1, but the damage is so good on blue. Everyone's trying to get close to point, is so weak on the red team.
Not much they can really do here. Once again, clock winding down in blue team's favor. We're just seeing a repeat of what happened last time. The red team really needs to change up what they're doing here. Otherwise, they're not going to end up winning this game. And heading in for the trade now. Good damage being dealt once again by Phoenix. He's getting so much damage down to Lucas Tank. They eventually use out here on the blue team, and this Uber's just barreling forwards. Phoenix just gets 2-piped down by Lucas Tank. And now we've got players going in behind Hugie, going in super deep. And Lucas Tank is just defending this point on his own against a demo man, a pocket soldier, and a medic, and is dealing so much damage. I don't understand this man's insane.
Will bring things back in their favor just a little bit if we hit them like this, I suppose, as well. But as we stand here, a minute left for SKEDDA. They've been getting maybe a bit outclassed in the first few rounds, but it's getting so good ever since. There we go, Luca with a wake-up call for them. Can't idle behind the point, gets the ticket going, Af down once again, point turns red once more. They have a lot of time to catch up with. And no Uber advantage should really make this any easier right now as well. SKEDDA, in fact, has the first draw in that regard, but it's not by a lot. Maybe they can just about get away with it on red.
Maybe indeed, and they still have this point captured for the time being, so see what they can do in terms of rolling down this clock, and a trade is not going to be on the cards for the red team here, so it's going to make it incredibly difficult for them to defend this one. Oh my god, Hugh just gets 2-shot by Medics on the edge of the point there. Geordie's the only one that gets traded out in one of the houses. Warp's going to start moving in though. Medics gets piped at range, so they do use out this blue Uber, and Unforgiven gets his Uber in time, so they're going to start running forwards. Patchouli is going to be super weak after this Uber, and so is Lucas Tank. They can't chase too hard though, because they just don't have the rest of their team ready to back them up after the Uber. The call is made, and they very rightfully move back here across the point. Aaron Trish is going to get some beam, but the blue team are just in a better position, have more players, and have better heals, so they're just going to retake this point.
Yeah, that was such an awkward time to take the Uber fight for red team as well, because I think that was at least one dead and 2 people at like 50 health. They could not go deep if they wanted to, and immediately leads us back here, right back to point. They can't deny forward position. We'll have to let them take the fight on point. That's gladly what they were doing, as long as they get the cap early in it as well and clock that timer down ever so slightly more and more here. Once you get even Ubers, but when you're on point, you'll gladly take some more extenders.
I love this Warp's playing behind. He goes back deep in behind, and their entire team has to turn around to deal with him because he's been such a nuisance in the backline. They're going to get this capture back through though, and good damage being dealt once again from both teams. Aaron Trade down to 28 HP, and he goes down at a range from Af. And they're going to have to take an Uber trade here, otherwise they're going to lose this point. And the drop comes out. Lucas Stank just sticky sinks into Unforgiven's face, and it was such an awkward timing because they were Unforgiven wanted the trade, but Phoenix, I don't know what was called, but they didn't quite make it forwards in time, so that's going to cost them massively here. Only 13 seconds remaining, and Patchouli has an Uber.
And that's gonna just swing things so much in their favor, and at this point, how are they not gonna take this? SKEDDA with Uber in hand, just waits for the approach, pops right into these bombs as well, and the rest of them, they don't even get the point. They hope the bombs would open something up, but it just was not enough against the supercharge. And SKEDDA with the comeback will make it happen.
The reverse sweep, what can you do? That one incredible comeback there from SKEDDA. That takes a lot of mental fortitude to make that comeback happen there. Coming back from being 2-0 down in what looked like a very convincing game for NANDEM, but SKEDDA making the comeback happen. Incredible stuff. But I've got to say, Lucas Tank, what a machine. Coming back to the game and just being this level of strong, just putting...
Some things never change.
Indeed.
Some people just got it like that.
It does indeed. He lags into a wall, kills 5 people. Nothing's changed.
Leaves early to play basketball or whatever it was again.
Wasn't that ice hockey?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go have a look at some of the logs here because I'm actually just intrigued as to what went down.
I mean, whatever the numbers say, I mean, they can't really tell you about just the way it went down in the end, really, right? Just such a good early game for NANDEM just was not quite enough. It's always going to feel frustrating. There's no way around it.
Yeah,
but you got to keep at it. There's more games to come, one way or another.
Very, very true. But it does say a lot about how much they were fighting in this game based off how many players got over 10,000 damage in this game, which is quite a lot. But you can just see how much work Arantra and Blank were putting in. They were just space creating the entire game, and both of them posting above 10,000 damage here, and Menix on the scout posting above 10,000 damage. Like I mentioned, I think that he's sort of the one to look out for. I think he's going to be a bit of a machine in the Premiership scene, so look out for that. But yeah, as you can see at the top there, we mentioned it time and time again, Dum Tum, Lucas Stank, 12.7k, 416 damage per minute in a 3-2 Bagel game is quite impressive.
All that with even less kills than the other guy as well, just sets everyone up for success, and he's getting all the assists for it. And honestly, you love to see it, right? Team player moment, just in the fight with everyone else at the same time, and it will work out in everyone's favor in the end.
Indeed, just dealing so much damage, and that drop at the end as well for Lucas Stank
was the perfect ending as well. At that point, you just feel so confident, right?
Yeah, like, nail in the coffin.
How can you lose from that position?
Yeah, as soon as you hear that medic dropped, and you've got 12 seconds left on the clock, you just know it's in the bag. But looking over at the medic stats as well, 19 to 18 Ubers. So I mean, the Ubers weren't completely out of it. Those 2 drops were unforgiven. Really did change the pace of the game, I think, which is unfortunate. But
I don't even remember the other one anymore at this point. I mean, after the last one,
he only just got Uber after getting bombed by Warped and Geordie in main, which is just like, you would have to spam right click in order to get that Uber off. But I don't know.
Honest, yeah. I suppose. I guess the only other really big difference I see on the heals is just obviously with how the soldiers played on the red team as well. They take more beam to get more work done, right?
Yeah.
Bit of a shift of priorities here was the scout taking a bit more of the charge on the other team in that regard. But I mean, I can't say it was a bad priority, right? The Bagel is still a vaguely new map in the grand scheme of things, and people trying to change things up a little bit wouldn't be out of the ordinary. And if you feel like you want the soldiers just to run rampant with more heals, then that's a valid idea, but we also seen in comparison how much Geordie and Warp can get done with a lot less healing as well. Might be a lot less longevity for them in longer fights with that in mind, but if you wrap them up quickly, which we saw a couple times whenever Warp went behind as well, just get everything done quick, that might not matter that much.
Yeah, I think it mainly came down to, at the end of the day, though, I think it came down to the fact that SKEDDA just seemed to adapt better. They did what they did in the first couple rounds, and then they decided, you know what, we're not just going to double sack soldiers on the mid fights. We're not just going to send them directly into the enemy team. We're going to start sending them behind, creating
They
saw
space. Coach Mac and chat say, "What is this?"
Yeah, what is going on?
Let's not do this anymore.
He cracked the whip a range, and then they started doing things correctly. But I think that they just adjusted. Whereas this time and time again, you just saw the same thing from NANDEM. Just get Phoenix on the edge of the cap, just keep tanking him, and now go for a trade, and then that was kind of the extent of it. Aside from that, it was just some individual flank plays. You had maybe Hugie getting a 2-shot here, Blank with a nice bomb there, Arantra with a nice flank in the house, those kinds of things, but nothing substantial enough like the entire team play that was coming out of SKEDDA there towards the end, where they were just coordinating very well with each other, and I think that made the difference on Bagel. But that's enough about Bagel, I think. We're moving to Snakewater. Any varied opinions? Do you think that anything's really going to change?
I mean, it will, obviously, right? It's a different game mode, and the things will not stay the same here. What will not change, I think, is just the way aggressive gameplay style of NANDEM is going down. We've seen it last time already. We've seen them play on 5CP as well. I don't think it will change much here. They will not allow slow moments to happen, right? They want themselves to be a team that just plays off small openings as much as possible. And if you're not careful about any single second of gameplay, that you're watching your entrances and not let them just take space for free in any situation. They will try and do that exactly. Now, that has backfired like once or twice on the previous map, but I don't think it was really the problem on the map as well, on the King of the map. That said, on a map like this, it can backfire a lot worse, I think. So if that is something that works against a team with experience like SKEDDA, that can adapt like SKEDDA as well, as we've seen, it would really good to show here if that's the way forward for them in general this season, I guess, as well, be it Premiership or not.
Indeed, and coming into an older map as well, like Snakewater, you can probably bet for certain that the entirety of SKEDDA have more games on Snakewater than probably the entire team of NANDEM combined, just because they've got all this sort of like old blood in the scene. They got Mac. They haven't got Mac for this game, but they originally do. And they've also got Lucas Stank, same sort of deal. They played forever, it feels like, and they would have played a lot more. So I'm imagining that their coordination is going to be a bit better. But granted, having said that as well, I will say that NANDEM have got players that have been playing together, a little bit longer, despite the lands.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, right? I talked about it already, I think, last week, or last time we've seen them, between like Af and Jordy, right? These are two names that I think everyone that watches Premiership is familiar with at least, but if those guys, especially Jordy, were more active throughout the years, they would be like, I think, were way higher ranked players as well. They are constantly just like, oh yeah, let's take a break here and there and just come together with like sort of ish similar teams into Prem qualifiers, always having these reset points with teams, but as players, like you can see right now, I guess, as well, they're just of a caliber that can and maybe will still make some moves towards the very top at some point. And we'll see maybe if the season can help them with that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I reckon, but you never know what might happen. They still have to play in the lower bracket of Prem qualies.
Yeah, no boy, the other team in that bracket surely will put them through the ringer.
Real take it to them. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, but score-wise as well, coming for this map, it is Snakewater, so it is notoriously slow.
Yeah.
But I will say that Phoenix might be the slowest Snakewater player I've ever seen.
What does that mean? You can't just say this after watching him on Soldier last few seasons, okay?
Yeah, but I also played with him, so
that's what I mean.
I've got the insight of, guys, we're timing out last. What are we doing? We sacking? No, we're timing out.
Which is weird, because that's not how NANDEM played at all. If anything, that was more so what SKEDDA did the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
But, they were much more willing to play slow if they had to.
Yeah, sometimes we time out rounds on Snakewater second, and it would be painful for everyone involved.
And people will still hate you for it. People being me, I will not let you live that down.
Especially the commentators and casting team.
And then
we apologize.
And then there's still a comeback, like you can show like a random comeback, and it's like 4-4 gold.
It's mental warfare, right? It's mental warfare. So basically,
what, against yourself?
Well, against everyone in the server, you know. It's just that you just have better mental fortitude than the enemy team, and you just catch it up. Yes. You know? But
maybe that's a strength though in the end, right? Because SKEDDA would not hesitate to play slow, I think, and if at least one of them is very content with that fact and not rush mistakes, maybe potentially, maybe that will help them here in the long way round.
I think so as well. Like SKEDDA, I think that they'll just make the right decisions and won't make any like insane calls. They're just going to make the right calls, you know. But anyway, we are heading into the first mid, first 5 CP. It's going to be CP Snakewater. Round number 2, first win went towards the side of SKEDDA, and they are now in a good position to take away a win here.
No, they're not in a position to do anything.
Never mind.
The config is wrong.
The config's wrong and no one's gone to mid. Okay, never mind then. But they're going to do a restart. Yes. Now
they will definitely start.
Now we're gonna go. Yes, fantastic. Look, we know what we're doing. We've only been doing this for how long now? Like 14 years? I don't know.
Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't. It's whatever. You always hope the other team does it.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Unforgiven gets kicked from the server from having a different Valve VPN. Very sad.
That's a new disconnect message I have not seen before, but I guess Ari working on security measures on SurfMe will make these happen sometimes, I guess.
But here's the thing, right? Here's what I was sort of alluding to before, is that just because this Warped team has been, you know, they've got a lot older players, they're used to, for lack of a better phrase, not shitting the bed as hard. So, and by that I mean they're going to sort of just not go insane. They're not going to make crazy aggressive calls when they don't need to. They're just going to, and they're going to call to chill a lot more. Versus this other team, which is full of Zoomers,
we'll see if they
screaming at each other.
Without Mac leading the ship here.
Yeah, maybe. I think Mac brings the chaos, in fact. But anyway, heading into this mid, good spam coming out onto Patch here as they're going to spam all the way across. Patchouli eats 2 direct rockets here very, very early on in the mid, but not really going to respond to it. Oh, never mind, they are responding. Blake's going in for a bomb, but he lands on the scout, and they're going to send Aaron Trey in towards Saw. Great damage being dealt, and they find 2 kills here onto Medics and Warped, and they're going to start having to move down towards lower. Phoenix takes off top, and they are going to kill everyone here. Oh my god. And Phoenix is taking a chase here onto Patch and Af. Blank's in above them. He does get shot down by Af, and they're not really going to be able to chase this anymore, and they are going to just sort of chill out on second and get this cap going through.
That will be enough in the end. Yeah, they just, like you said, they took a second to realize where they want to bomb, but the second they did, they somehow found 3 people on one place all at the same time. Kind of weak already. Could not be better timing on that. And it wasn't even the medic they really got initially as well. It was just everyone that wasn't next to the medic still there, while the medic already left, and at that point, there's no heals for anyone. They will just go down back to as it is, and well, we were dreading it. The last teammates will come either way, but I don't know. NANDEM's done, or attempted at least, some creative stuff about it the other day. We'll see if they will be given the chance to against a team like SKEDDA.
It looks like now we have the classic hold going on. No dispenser just yet, which is one of the biggest things about holding last at this very moment is having that dispenser armor available to you, because this is the point in which they sack soldiers. There's no sniper in play, so you ideally want to get that dispenser up so you have some armor for your medic, and ideally on lower rather than up top there, because from top it can get spammed from the shutter. So when you have it down on the floor, it works a little bit better for the medic. Just a little bit.
This wouldn't happen if Mac was here.
Yeah, this wouldn't happen if Mac was here.
Oh, don't worry.
He'd smack medics and be like, dude, well, I told you about having a dispenser on the floor, man. It's got to be on the floor.
That's the difference between a Div 1 and a Prem Scout, where they put the dispenser on Snakewater last.
It's important.
It really is, unfortunately. That's the sad reality of the matter.
Yeah, so they did send Hughie all the way back, and he went on Sniper, but unfortunately he just gets 2 rocketed by Warp, so not a lot really going on there. Patchouli is in the perfect spot not to get sniped though, so he's being chilling.
For now, at least, they're still moving the meta around a lot to just get buffs going as well, so as long as the sniper is watching out their half on the blue team, it should not get punished, but they really got to keep their eyes open about it, because if the sniper gets one chance on red, they will surely take it. And in fact, they're busy to create an opening here. Double bomb comes through, maybe 2 soldiers is enough to get the gun going down, maybe the dispenser with it as well, and to the medic, but not today just yet.
They're going to do a sack? No, they're not. They're just going to... Af's going to go hero shot. He's swinging in! Oh, never mind.
Swing and a miss.
And he's dead.
3 strikes to Yao, that's the first one. Let's see if they mess up out of us again, and how badly. And I mean, as the red team in this position, right, you always gotta at least hope for a little bit of that, right? They're making some moves here as well. Some teams have to sack 3 or 4 people in before for the second bit, I guess, but I don't know if we'll see that necessarily out of these rosters today.
Phoenix going down. Unfortunate stuff as they move into a pretty poo-poo position.
If they didn't have a sniper already, this is where the scout would go sniper. Maybe he was spy.
Indeed.
Wouldn't be the first time, I suppose, but it will not be the first time today that is.
Yeah, now we're going to start seeing if they want to do anything juicy here, but it looks like they're just going to go for a sniper. Thank God for 5-minute round timers.
Some people are convinced it made it worse, but honestly, it would just let us sit here for 5 more minutes afterwards every time, so I'm firmly under the conviction that it's better this way.
It did happen before, you know? We're just going to try and jaw spam onto this gun, but Geordie getting killed in lower there, then honestly, they need these heals to be on towards lower, but he can't really sit in that position without having the dispenser on, because the soldier can just bomb in and just destroy you. Which is the difference maker here, and the dispenser has gone down as well. So, you know, just getting spammed from that shuttle, like I mentioned. It does make a difference to the hold here, but Af with a very nice headshot there, just clean that one up and deny anything that happens here. And looks like we've got a pause.
Did you think the game was slow enough already, Chad? Well, they didn't. They wanted to slow down even more. It's already timing out, which, you know, understandable, I guess, but still. Sometimes there's funny pauses in the middle of action where we get to speculate on what happens next, but what happens next is that Aaron Tree of Blank will respawn.
Yeah, they'll respawn and I'll do it again.
Maybe Warp jumps, he's already forward in lobby. It's also being stared on by a demo man, which makes it a lot harder, but...
ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined the stream, welcome to Essentials.tf, where we are doing the Premiership Qualifiers. Now is the perfect time to go make a cup of tea, or go make yourself a gin and tonic. We're going to be here for a while.
Once again, important reminder for all the biddies in the chat that you don't have to play Snakewater this season. you have them free.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Ben, who reminded admins that actually isn't it Snakewater's time to be out of the season? And he was right. It is. It's a shame that Lars is like such a contentious one this map, because I really like the mid fight actually.
Oh, we have a repause.
Snake is second is a bit funky, but it's not awful, I guess. But it's a shame for the mid fight because the mid fight's really cool. But it's just weird to say that I like it as well, because it's in some ways the most linear one of them all, right? It's just a straight line forward with not impossible to reach flank, but you have to go really far in actually to get there. Surprisingly, that plays out pretty interestingly.
Yeah, the question is, do you think that Snakewater has been solved?
Well, at least last. I mean, like, I can't even say that necessarily, because people are still trying to just be much more proactive into last as well at the very top level. Which is admirable, I guess, I suppose, but at the same time, every time even the best teams are doing it, it still looks so difficult.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? It's like you're trying to weigh out whether the map needs a change to keep it fresh or what.
The change is to make every patch of grass on last just the bottomless pit.
Yes, just a void. Yeah, support this. But yeah, I would like to get. It would be interesting to see what sort of like old guard players like Happy and so have to say about sort of last or anything, but they might just say keep it as is because they're boomers. But Hughie is up on the spy class.
You know what they will say? They will say change it to Badlands.
Change it to Badlands.
To which I'd say, honestly, why not at this point?
Sap comes in, and they're
there it
sacking
is.
on Patchouli. There it is.
We wanted the spike, we're getting it.
Look, I know I've said it like 5 times, but if he was inside a dispenser, that fucking wouldn't have happened.
I mean, you know.
Well, what can you do?
Yeah.
But anyway, what can you do? Geordie's going to head out into second, but they're going to start capping this one up here and seeing what they can do. They actually decide they're not going to cap it.
They're choosing not to, very deliberately as well.
30
They want
seconds for
timer
a
to run out.
timeout. Yeah, they want to time this out.
The thing is as well, you still have to worry about them backcapping anyway in red. That's the worst part about it. You don't really want to bother at all, but like you still have to.
Yep, and they're going to look to take this Uber in. It's going to be a shuttle push coming in here. 10 seconds remaining. Can they destroy the gun and get a little bit of captain going in? Phoenix is going on to the point. He does get a flash coming out here. Lots of damage being dealt. Aff is on it as the fat man, and that's it. It's over.
It might very well be. No one's really forward enough anymore. They have to take back so much ground and so little overtime they have here. But it will not be enough. And in the end, right, now with shorter runtimers, you do see actually overtime and 5CP actually come up a lot more, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Didn't happen that much in the past, but you gotta keep in mind that if you have any time on point, you still get some bonus chances at the end, and they just didn't have enough of it in the end to still matter with how much ground they had to retake.
I'm just happy that they changed golden caps so the commentators wouldn't have to sit there for half an hour on
Or
Granary.
anyone, whatever.
Or anyone sit there for half an hour on Granary. But anyway, heading into another mid-fight here. It's still 0-0 and heading into another mid-fight. And good damage being dealt once again. Pachini didn't need 3 directs this time running into mid-fight, but lots of damage being sent in his general direction, but he just dodged it all this time. And both teams relatively healthy, just waiting to see what they want to do here. Bomb coming out from Blank, he's just going to start taking that high ground, takes the roof away from them, gets knocked back a little bit, so that space being given up relatively quickly here. But just chilling, Blank once again, doing the same thing again. He's getting a little bit dangerous there. Does have to go back and get a health pack. Warp's going to go in from the blue side, just toing and throwing, just prodding at the defenses, just to see what they can do. It's like jabbing in boxing. They're just jabbing at each other.
Yeah, I mean, we should be surprised, right? Bagel has no bit fights, but once the action comes in, they're going all in. Double bump across the point, Devil Man across the cap as well, but this time round, they're more than ready for it. Shoot the ball out the sky, and Lucas will demo fight on point itself, and they can't get the scouts across at that point anymore. There's just no chance left, and at this point you need to make sure Unforgiven this, which should be just fine from that perspective at least, but, well, the runtime ran out earlier on the other point as well, right? 5 minutes are over, you have been deemed not worthy of another chance, just now back to mid it goes, now it's the other team's time to play, as long as they win the mid fight, and with this mid looking the way it is, they're getting more than plenty chance right now.
Ooh, what a nice little midi.
Oh, even bigger shot by Blank,
nice,
however.
yeah. Very beautiful stuff. Anyway, nice bomb coming in from Blank there, jumping all the way in, and he's going to crater on the floor.
No, he gets hit by a sticky as he falls off the tower.
That's so unfortunate.
That's so annoying.
And they're going to be running in here. They kind of do need to use this Ubercharge, but Phoenix, Unforgiven just really doesn't want to, which is probably the right play in the end, and Phoenix does survive in the end. But it's going to be the classic Phoenix call. We just repelled them off our last, and I'm going Engineer.
I mean, why not, right? I mean, I respect SKEDDA's ability to both do try into last, but also realize when it's too much. They didn't just get enough of the initial bomb. If Bob got a little bit more, maybe that would have been fine, but now they're trying a second time round as well. Matt's all the way in spawn behind the guard, and Lucas can try to buy. That is a bit much to deal with for on that moment.
Yeah, and they won't push either. They'll just...
Oh, will they?
Oh, hang on. Phoenix has changed off Engineer.
Oh, that means it's serious.
He's a changed man. They're going in through bats. They're going to do a trade?
You were the bad influence all along, Lucky. I hate to break it to you.
Maybe I was. What are they doing? This is insane to me. They've used... This is terrible.
Push, yeah, this is terrifying.
This is awful. They need to leave.
Wait, is it? Actually, wait a second. Maybe it's a genius all along.
Oh, maybe it is genius. Maybe I'm just wrong. Who cares? Anyway, they're heading in. Aaron Trier is going to get cleaned up here by Aff as they try and retake the position here. Luca Enderman is just going to walk in. Patchouli is super weak. And how has this happened? That looked terrible for a moment.
It really was not good for a second at the beginning. They didn't really get much damage. They didn't get good position, but the flank fought their way through that somehow. They got a player behind and it opened up everything in a matter of seconds.
That was insane. There was so many opportunities for blue team to just go, you know what, we're going in behind you and we're going to go for a back cap, which is usually what happens in Snakewater. Just because there's so much distance and it's so easy to cap that last point, and it's so hard for you to get back all the way to it. It's like playing on Old Granary, where the cap is next to the spawn door and it makes it really awkward. But moving all the way forwards now, Here's the red team. Bomb coming in, doesn't manage to land any more damage beyond 50 to Unforgiven, so they're going to be able to get onto the second point. Uber charge still in the advantage for Unforgiven, so they're going to start taking lobby, get everyone buffed up and ready to go. Luke Enderman's going to join them here, and they're just going to start moving through lower. Patchouli up to 75%, so he's going to get his Uber relatively soon, and just heading on towards Lucas Tank. Unfortunately, he doesn't go down. The heavy is going to go down as the first casualty of war, but Patchouli's going to get his Uber.
Yeah, it just took long. It was a better push in many respects than the previous one until last second, but still, it's so hard to get these kills and get on point at the same time. A lot of different approaches to choose from here as well, and now they have to still deal with people afterwards. At least they get a kill out of this one. Unforgiven might as well just escape barely there, but the rest of the team going down will cause some trouble here. That is one more scout going in, but not for very long. Bomb comes through. Truly on the point, expects them to be there and drop that. Not a bad call out by the soldier, but just not enough time for Unforgiven, unfortunately, as well. Still, it will help Unforgiven escape, if nothing else. So as a plan C, I suppose, to this initial push, it's alright, but the fact that they had to go that fast, though, is a bit of a problem, of course. Unforgiven with the advantage should, however, still have some say over the matter here, going back into the second point, potentially.
Indeed, and so now Unforgiven still has his advantage, just because he managed to slip away there with a very, very nice surf that he managed to get off, heading all the way back. Out that right-hand side door. And now they're just going to play Spam Fest. Aaron Trigger going in, just taking the space. And they've used very, very early here. And Phoenix is going to be barreling in to see what kills that he can get. He's going to be chasing onto Affy's on lower, as they do find 2 kills here. And now they have an opportunity to end towards last, but Julius Zuba much earlier here. It's ended Phoenix a little bit too early, and he's not going to find too much. But Lucas Tank trying to defend this door, and he requires an Uber. He gets dropped off the Uber. That's very, very unfortunate, but it looks like Unforgiven, they're just going to leave this and play the ad once again and maybe leapfrog, but never mind. They're getting their players in through left side, and respawners are on the way. Aff and Geordie are going to get theirs, and they're going to have crit hills available to them, so the health advantage is going to be on the side of the blue team here and making it a much easier fight for them. But amazing damage from Blank as he bombs in. Great damage being done. Aaron Trigger's air shot, and he's heading in super deep and just commits.
But it's still not enough. I mean, I think they were about split about this one, as you were as well going into this. They had 3 kills, 2 were spawning instantly, the demo man's still gone. That is a significant advantage in a fight like this, but it just didn't matter enough. They couldn't cover enough distance quickly enough, and the damage at the end just didn't quite bring it back together to really get some pressure going. Couldn't go point early either, which just cuts off options tremendously for you. Our team still has a lot more room to play with at that point, and will not quite be enough. Still, however, after all this is said and done, they still have advantage.
Yeah, Unforgiven's going to be running in here trying to dodge all of this spam. They do lose 1, they lose Blank here, so it's going to make it a pretty awkward fight, and I don't think they're going to have enough Uber to really run this in. They're just going to have to not force it. Unforgiven with a very nice serve just heads all the way back. He's going to get his health back as well. So now they're just going to have to chill. This Uber ad is no longer ad, but Phoenix is desperate to start doing things on last. In fact, he's running in. He wants to snipe or something.
He wants something to happen for sure, and the rest of the team will follow up on that attempt as well, but Phoenix was the first one to go down, might lose entry in the lower area as well, just about escaped Alf's pistol there. Just barely. It was a very tame attempt in the end. Matt didn't really overcommit or anything like this. They saw if they could walk over someone early in a transition moment like this, where there will not be a full setup or anything like this, and maybe there's still people holding close after falling back from second. That's never a bad idea, I suppose, to just go in quick and see what you can get, as long as you have an exit strategy. They very much did in this regard, so not an emergency case in any stretch of the imagination. Still, however, we've seen SKEDDA City for 5 minutes before. They only have 4 minutes left to go as well, and I sort of anticipated one team to be more the ones playing slow and the other team playing fast all the time, and wouldn't expect it to be just on this last one necessarily, but for what's coming to fruition, and if SKEDDA can do it confidently for the remaining of the next 5 minutes, then maybe it will be alright in the end.
Oh, Patchouli, what a serve! He was in a, not gonna lie, he was in a pretty terrible position, but he managed to hit a lovely surf and just avoid all the damage that he needed to, so ended up standing on the truck, so very nice stuff from him, but a pretty risky scenario to be in there with the gun only just going up now, so no heavy in play.
Lucas tried to melee a sticky twice, and he missed both times.
He's trying his best, alright, leave him alone. He's looking at it like, what the hell, man? What's the sticky? He moves it just to make sure it's not a glitch or something, and now it's just moved.
God, imagine if this is how we find out that there's an immovable sticky spot somewhere on Snakewater as well.
Wow, can you imagine?
That'd be the difference maker.
Weird stare hitbox. Does it
It wouldn't be the first time some silly things like this happen.
Oh my god, Aff has done it.
What now?
The dispenser is in lower. It's perfect.
I guess Patchouli had a word with him after the previous debacle earlier.
Yep, indeed. Looks like Hugi's going to be running in here, and they try and get through on the right-hand side at the same time with Aaron Trey, but doesn't manage to do so in the end. Only a level 1 gun up, and looks like they're going to be sacking onto Patchouli, but he's like a floating ballerina. Just dodges all of the damage, and he's totally fine.
Just flies away from them guys will be real quickly. Not an issue even if you don't have that thing. Again, at least against just one guy, it's not that threatening. And the gun still being there, stop the reinforcements to sack in quickly very well, even if it was just level 1 I think at the time. So crisis averted. 2.5 minutes left to go here. NANDEM still has to figure something out, and no one wants to resort to it, but sometimes maybe you got to just find a way to exchange.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they just didn't decide to go with sniping. It's what this team have been doing for a long time. With Phoenix just up on the sniper, he's a very, very good sniper, so I don't know why they don't just go and default to that and just...
Because that's lame.
Snipe through the shutter door, you know? But if it
We don't want to be lame.
We don't want to be lame. Okay, let's go.
That's really
Ulla Caber Demo Man.
I'm convinced that's like the main strat of NANDEM is to just not be lame.
Yeah, I think you might be right, you know.
And it's been working pretty well the last 2 seasons, so I mean, can't argue with success, I suppose. But eventually, they might have to either find a different strat or just start doing it even better, which is not easy either. So see what I can do here. Oh, that was just very unfortunately completely read like a book by Warped.
Very, very nice rocket coming out from him, just to deny from doing anything here. But you'll notice that once again, they just your Snakewater last, you just do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting it. SKEDDA is certainly delivering on that front as well. If they know how to just make you run into a wall here, they will do that just fine. NANDEM needs to find a sledgehammer, and they cannot get one right now.
Headshot to Yuji. Then just delay that push a little bit longer.
They don't need a little bit more at this point either. It's a minute left here at this rate. There's no second push anymore at this point. No real second push anyway. If they go in, that has to be it at this point.
Yeah, just, 60 seconds remaining on the clock basically, and yeah, we'll just be relaxing.
So here we go. It comes down to this last ditch attempt here. They're buffing up everyone. Trying to anyway. Don't even have much time. Soldiers still don't have a buff either. But they gotta get in here sooner or later. There we go. Left side push it is this time around as well. Seeing if they can somehow force something out, but they're not getting close to the medic. The gun goes down and the arrow is with it actually.
Skyboxed. Incredible.
It happens to the best of them.
Yeah, happens. It goes directly up in the air. Gets an NS anyway for it. Very, very nice. But what's on the shutter? Just being the shutter defender. He's door. He's holding that door. They got the fat man up again because they lost the sentry gun. Pachili still has his Uber, so they're just going to pop it on the point here, reset the round, and call it a day. Second round reset. 12 minutes remaining on the clock. Classic. Who saw this coming? Everyone did. It's Snakewater.
No. Like, I can't blame them for what happens in this push, but they still had to just do the second push a bit faster. It's very silly criticism even at this point, because even that it wouldn't have been good given the circumstances, but these last-ditch effort pushes have to happen a lot faster. People lose a lot of time when they don't have anything left to lose anymore, just trying to still set up for the best play. You just have to do something. You just have to start sending it at some point, and throwing as much as you can at that last. But unfortunately, don't do it again, and yeah. Well, SKEDDA is looking pretty good not losing, but they have spent very little time actually trying to win this game so far, so... Yes. And the times they did try to win, and the times they did try to win as well, Lucas Tank just decided he was going to sack on Snakewater last. That didn't end too well, but anyway, another bit fight ensuing. Red team doing roughly the similar thing they were doing before, just getting their soldiers up on this high ground, then getting counter-jumped by blue soldiers before they decide that they're going to send their entire team into sheer death, but they're just getting sort of buffed up, ready to go. Lots and lots of damage being dealt this time to both teams, but blue team a little bit ahead here on the old damage numbers. Red team eating a lot of damage as we get the first commit going in. Blank goes in, he's going to die, and now I think they're just going to leave. Yeah, yes. I mean, it's not unsurprising to see people fight for high ground on this map, but there was nothing happening on the high ground this bit fight. Demo went in, crashed across, no scout trying to sneak through the middle at some point. It was just 2 soldiers and a scout each at any given time, rotating on the high ground, taking turns here, and SKEDDA's getting it better end of it this time around as well, quite nicely here. Last ditch effort though, they don't want to do second as well, they want to fight for it if they have the chance. They have the Uber, they take the chance here, and it's backfiring tremendously. Well, this has ended really badly. Phoenix is getting bombed on the bridge, and looks like he's going to maybe find Warp to the end of this. Blank goes in too. He's going to probably die as well. Yep, he gets stickied by Lucas Stank trying to exit through the doorway. Hughie's running in on the flank. This is what I meant on Bagel, when they just do these individual flank plays and just send their entire team for it. But Hughie, he's in super deep, but this is just opening up last tremendously for the blue team here. They're just going to be able to bust in. Way too long back there as well, but they do send 2 people back, so it will be fine in the end. I mean, yeah, you're right. This is something I think we both anticipated, right? Like I said, they don't want to be boring. They want to see if there's any chance to fight back on this one. That's how the exchange happened. They saw a real chance to exchange there. And if you get a better exchange, maybe, but they just could not find it this time around as well. And leave SKEDDA with all you in the world to get to the last, get some cap time started, and lose Jordy instantly. Hugely with the sniper, actually. Maybe gives him a chance here, but Av's still on point, and he's all alone there. Not even his own team is with him anymore. Everyone died already. They're losing the fight elsewhere, but he's winning the one on point.
Yeah, we had a bit of a tragic moment there coming out from one of the red soldiers who decided, you know what? I want that med. I want him so bad that I'm willing to lose the round. I think it was I don't know which soldier it was. They're both using the original. It was an original using soldier, but
it feels so nice to get it when you're already having a slightly winning fight, right? And admittedly, they were starting to win that fight, but they just lost sight of one important thing at the end.
The ball.
Yeah,
they lost sight of the ball. But looks like once again, same thing happening. Red team once again going to just try and take this high ground, and they both do the exact same thing. Eat a ton of damage, and now they're super weak. They can't take this mid fight anymore. And as a result, the blue team just start barreling across. Yuji's going to go in and absolutely nuke though, and manages to get a bunch of kills there across the point onto Lucas Stank. And this is going to make this fight a little bit easier for the red team. Even players 4v4 currently, but a demo man in play for the red side. So damage output is going to be significantly higher. Aaron Cheer on this high ground is getting focused pretty hard there. Alpha Medics, they just want to head across and focus this guy down as they retake this high ground on the blue team.
You will say here now as well, anyone can pull the trigger at any given time. Truly being as weak as he has, just walked that by his scout. So much dead space in the middle without a demo man to take for the red scouts to run over. Phoenix will die for that though. Does not get the flash in the end. And long term, that might still work out for SKEDDA. They can just keep ground pretty confidently. Red team might have had a later Uber, but with less numbers, they very quickly realize if we're staying in, this is just going to get real bad real fast.
Indeed, and looks like now blue team going to be heading in towards lower, and just going to see what they can do in terms of getting in on grass. Lots of spam going into these doorways though. Blank on the high ground, Aaron Sure on cheese as well, so the spam is pretty good. As they're going to send Blank into the flank here onto Warpton. They do get the kill onto him. They're going to trade out, in fact, and find 2 kills in the end as they find medics as well. Aaron Sure does need a bow to get healthy again, but Hugie once again getting a little bit ahead of himself, goes into mid and just dies. And that's going to cost them that push there into mid, which could have potentially, you know, turned the tide of the game.
Very much so as well. Why is Phoenix on regular bad, by the way? What?
I could not possibly tell you.
Well, he just found the candy cane, so maybe you should just understand.
Oh, maybe.
Is that the new meta change where it's all on bad now? It's all coming full circle?
Maybe he was using Wrath Assassin before and it's just been taken off his loadout because the whitelist
actually, that's probably true.
I think it's probably that. If you're like, well, pick you just go Atomizer because you're a mad scientist.
I mean, hey, it's technically 3 jumps.
It is 3 jumps. There's a couple of jumps you can do that. Very niche.
Or you just use the winger and jump it just that high.
Well, you can do both, you see.
I guess. Or you can just be a Geordie and place auto if you want to jump high. Does not always have great results. Sometimes you just get shot down instantly. And this is when NANDEM has looked really good last time I've seen them play here. 1 down into mid. They are pretty good at making a lot of chaos happen here, and I'm interested to see if we can repeat that success again. And they're certainly trying to turn a lot of heads here, and there's Blank coming in eventually. Lost energy already, no one's getting through Saw as well, unfortunately, and without a distraction that lasts very long, Blank doesn't have a big opening in the end either.
I'm going to start referring to that one as the kitchen incident, where they just lose 2 in kitchen immediately. They spill the spaghetti all over the floor. Phoenix is deciding he's going to run in. His medic is not with him. Warped hits a taunt, knowing that Phoenix is probably going to be tilting, and Lucas Stank dies for it. I'm so confused.
Never punished.
Never punished. He's the one that's taunting, and Lucas Stank is the one that dies for it.
Well, unfortunately, there was no other soldier that could have had the damage on the guy that killed Lucas. Well, this might have been preventable. They get themselves back into position. Well, now they have spent a little bit of time winning the game as well, and now they just need to spend 6-9 more minutes not losing it, and they might be in the clear here.
Yeah, I think Warped is well aware, by the way, on that taunt that Phoenix was probably calling for a trade, and Unforgiven said absolutely not. So he hits the taunt knowing that that call is probably the call that was made, and it's going to enrage Phoenix to no end. And that's what I like about these players that all know each other as well. They're definitely going to like stick their, you know, press their buttons wherever they can, you know. But Phoenix sniping in lower, seeing what shot he can get. He does get the body shot onto Af, deals a little bit of damage there, so he nearly goes down.
Alright, well, let's see if they are having any bold ideas about this last one, or if they've taken this one really reserved. For now, I mean, the sniping. You asked for it earlier on the other side, I guess. Manic's the one delivering, and I mean, he hit some snipes earlier as well.
No, make this stop. Okay, it's a soldier trade into lobby. It's alright. It's not fantastic, but
It worked once before.
They are probably just going to go back to last though.
Last time they got space on second a bit here. It's struggling to even get that far right now. Blank still peeking as much as is possible for one guy with Beam, but no one's really getting in from anywhere else. I think there's Errantry sneaking up from under, but no one sees D opening. Everyone's just hoping to find it here along the way. Linkback's still alive. He can still turn some heads later down the line, but they gotta be quick. Manic is waiting for them.
Indeed, and also I think that the whole game plan here is that they've got 5 minutes on the clock left, 3 minutes on this current round. They don't want to be holding last for the rest of this game and when they're 1-0 down. I think that, you know, SKEDDA are more than happy to just take their time here. They can just...
No, I think you're right about NANDEM's idea being they don't have much time left here and they gotta try something. However, I will argue they would probably do this for 10 minutes left as well.
Fair enough. But they have entirely abandoned Engineer here, which is going to mean that they're sort of opening themselves up here for mistakes to happen. By swapping off of Engineer, you kind of are doing the all-in play to this huge Spy.
Here's the thing though, right? They gotta realize there's no Engineer for it to matter.
Yes, they need to actually peek into last to see that there's no Engie.
Now it's Schrodinger's Engineer. As long as they don't bomb, they will never find out if there's one there.
Exactly, but if they do bomb, the likelihood of them getting a force into Unforgiven is quite high, as they find Hugie as well.
Well, that was cute damage onto Pat, truly, at least, doing the byplay. And I mean, at least you gotta support each spy, I suppose, but now is where they might try to do something funny into last, and this is where the lack of Engineer might hurt them a little bit here, and I'm surprised no one switched heavy as well in the meantime.
Indeed. And, heading on to the shuttle, Menix is going to do a wide swing. Menix does get taken down, the dot went across Unforgiven's head there for a moment. It was very, very close from him, but unfortunately not managing to get this one down. Well, Warped realizes now there's no sentry gun and Unforgiven is all the way forwards, and ooh, Unforgiven holds it.
Yeah, if there was a bit more damage coming through, maybe Lucas sniping some stickies across the point, but in the end, it comes down to a double bomb, maybe still not quite enough here in the end. They're still not putting up the Engineer, they refuse to. This is a silent protest against doing this, and they want to be different. They want to do this their way, and I mean, at this point in the game, you have to very much. Like, there's argument to want an Engineer in other cases, they have to get out of it. They don't have a choice.
Yeah, and they've used out into second. Phoenix has not landed that much damage. He's tried to hit onto AF. The Uber has only just been used. Once again, we're in the situation where the Uber charge is not so great for the red team and coming out into second. But Phoenix, this time around, rather than munching the enemy team, has died. And they've ended up back on last once again. And it just makes it insanely hard for you to get off last with the, you know, the setup that currently is. Oh look, Phoenix found a Boston Basher. Maybe you can use that.
New weapon unlocked. That's crazy mid-game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of time left here as well to see if they can make something happen. SKEDDA, not too hard for us. I mean, even if this resets at this point, it's not the end of the world. See still, however, if they can make something happen here. I mean, there's no gun stopping. They might as well try some bombs flying in here. If the bombs are bad enough that it's just 2 people dying, you push up a lot faster with the Engineer. They're swapping to heavy at this rate, which does arguably kind of defeat the purpose of not having an Engineer, though.
Indeed.
I guess it's a threat moving up in some ways, but who knows.
Yeah. I think that what we're going to see is we're going to probably see a round reset, and then that transform instantly into a red team. We're sending it across mid.
Oh, no,
but
blue team last second tries here. So, I mean, they have nothing left to do, really, I guess. So
Unforgiven doesn't have Uber yet.
Quickly. That is the big problem, surprisingly.
Yeah, he just didn't have Uber, and Patchouli just came in, and looks like now red team are crumbling. It's going to be 2-0 on the scoreboard. Never mind, I will eat my words. It's 2-0, and that's probably it. There's no comeback to be had in this game anymore. That's going to make it 1-1 as a grand total. Big fumbling of the bag from NANDEM. Maybe if they had Engineer, they would have prevented that from happening, potentially.
It's probably worked so well against the one teams too that just were just outdone by the DM prowess at this point, but we're reaching a point at skill caliber where that DM level is, even if not maybe slowly but surely, the higher you go, Premiership favored against them at some point as well, so just DMing with your opponents is not quite enough, and the exchanges just didn't set them up for good positioning, unfortunately, in the end as well, and that really was what had to make this, right? These exchanges going right on us. Indeed,
yeah, and of course, Walt getting the kills there, massive bomb from him, mega damage being dealt. He goes into the Gundam and gets that kill too. 3 kills in the mid for Warped. It's just going to be Unforgiven left alive. And that's all she wrote for this game, as he just gets 2 shot down by Menex. 1 minute remaining on the clock, so looks like we're heading to the 3rd and final game in this best of 3 to see who is going to be going to Premiership this season for spring. And it's very, very close in these games, but like I mentioned, Snakewater was going to be a slow one.
Lucky, you might have forgotten already that SKEDDA won the other map.
SKEDDA won the first map.
Fake news spread by our caster.
It's so over. I thought NANDEM won. I forgot.
I mean, they look really good for most of that game, to be fair, so I can't blame you for thinking that necessarily, but...
Yeah, they ended up 2-0 and then they lost, didn't they? Whoops, I'm terrible. Anyway, yeah, they've lost. SKEDDA and Prem. Well done, guys. Looks like Phoenix is going to have to play against us now, and with my brain, you know, level, they've definitely got this in the bag.
Congratulations to NANDEM as well in that case.
Yeah, congratulations to NANDEM, you made it. That's what Snakewater made me sleepy, what can I say?
Well,
yeah.
I don't know, if anything, right, evil prevails once again. Snakewater last claims another team. You hate to see you hate to see evil win, but in this case, Team of Engineer will succeed.
I've got to say, by the way, that this team for SKEDDA, ever since, well, after they got Lucas Tank up on the Demo Man class, they've just been absolutely destroying. He is an absolute machine. SKEDDA in Prem, easy peasy lemon squeezy, another Mac_TF gold medal coming in their direction.
He got to Prem without any doing of his own this time.
Exactly.
Which means if it starts going wrong now, we know who to put the blame.
Indeed, yeah. So yeah, that's going to be SKEDDA going into Prem. Fantastic stuff. And it's going to be NANDEM getting dropped down into the lower bracket, and they'll face up against Alien Workshop, the biggest upset team in all of LANs ever. Yeah. Any
and
words
how are they
you want to give to
possibly
this?
winning that one?
Oh, I don't know. Miracles. The power of friendship.
Well, can you... I will hold you accountable for this one now. Can you promise us that you will not play Snakewater next time you play these guys? For everyone's enjoyment, not just any of these teams.
I can't promise anything.
Well, Chad, if you see Snakewater, you know whose fault it is.
We have some logs! Woo! Everyone loves some numbers. Look at these guys, man. Look at that. Warped top damage. I'm not surprised by that, actually. He absolutely destroyed them in this game. That was very, very nice from him. From holding that shutter door for about 15 minutes, he did a great job to get 279 damage per minute.
I mean, just the blue scouts as well. I mean, I think I checked the scoreboard like halfway through the game, and they were like so far ahead as well. And
yeah,
I mean, it was a relatively slow game. They did a lot with very little in that department, right? Like I joked about this. We didn't see them win for a lot of the game, but they sure were winning when they started actually doing it.
Yeah.
When they got to the last, it was just across the map. That one slip up out of last by NANDEM pushing out of last, I guess. Aside, really. Still though, I mean, NANDEM's still scary. The fact that it was still this close with, I mean, what was very audible on your part, plays you didn't agree with necessarily. There's still a testament to how good they're doing, the things they are doing, and so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can't take them for granted here as well. They will just bust one out randomly, and well, feels like randomly anyway. It is their strat, but they know how to do, and if you're not ready for it, this will end pretty bad. SKEDDA comes out the better for this time around. We'll see if that will continue in Premiership, because, I mean, now you're just playing against the teams that didn't have to go qualifying. Now is where things get real difficult.
Is where things get hard, but one also surprising element of this game as well is that both mates only had 2 deaths. Both of them.
I mean, is it surprising?
Well, yes, actually, considering.
I guess, yeah, with how the pushouts were in some situations, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's not always free, you know. And there were 5 mid fights as well, and Snakewater mid is not the easiest one to survive.
Well, to be fair, one death on Patchouli kind of won SKEDDA the game. So
one death on Unforgiven won the game. Yeah, you're right.
No. When they went for Patchouli, and then after scapped it.
Yeah, that one.
That might have been the best medic there.
I don't even think. Did he even die? I don't think Patchouli even died on that either. Like, he didn't even die.
Didn't make a difference. Air was there before it even come to matter at that point.
Yeah, what can you do?
Very important one, but yeah, you got to pay attention to everything.
Indeed, but yeah, that's going to be that, ladies and gentlemen, for this wonderful game. So congratulations to SKEDDA. You can be free now. You don't have to play any games until the season starts, I guess. So good luck, have fun in the Premiership division. Whereas NANDEM, you have to continue playing. Unfortunately, sad times for you before you get absolutely demolished by Alien Workshop in the lower bracket playoffs. Anything you want to mention here, Dom?
No.
Fantastic. That's good to know. Any shouts from you, John? No? I'm asking production if he wants to shout anyone out.
Okay, no. Cut him off, production. It's over.
It's over. Hey, shouts from you, Dom. No, none from you either. Fantastic stuff. Shout outs to you, chat, and shout outs to John for producing this evening. This was fun, and we'll see you some other time on Essentials TF for more Premiership fun and maybe some Div 1 stuff. We don't really know what we're doing yet. So yeah, we'll see you later. Bye bye now.